We don't really live a long time. And yeah, we don't. We only live like maybe 70 to 100 years. And when you really think about it, that's not that long. Like, think about it. In the last 70 to 100 years, a lot of things have happened. But when you compare it to everything that has ever happened from all the way from the Big Bang, from the asteroid hitting the dinosaurs, 70 to 100 years is not that long of a time. And chances are, not chances are, the fact is that eventually when you die, you will be forgotten, and everyone that you ever loved will forget you. Okay? And by that I mean that they will also die, and eventually with time you will be forgotten. Basically, you would end up being meaningless, you would end up being nothing. And when I say this a lot, when I say this to people, they always think, "Oh God, it's so pessimistic." And I disagree. I don't think that being nothing is a bad thing at all. Like the way I see it, the fact that we are going to be forgotten is a very good thing, and it's something that makes me very joyful. And the reason is because when you are nothing in the grand scheme of things, it means that you can do whatever you want with this life, and it would not end up mattering to you. It would not end up mattering not to you, but it would not end up mattering at all. It would not matter. And that means you have the freedom to do whatever it is that you want with your life. So you can choose, you have that choice. You can choose to be happy or you can choose to be miserable. And the way I see it, it would be best if you choose to be happy rather than if you chose to be miserable. Yeah. Like, we do so much of things that don't make us happy, and then we wonder why we are not happy, even though we know exactly what we are doing that doesn't make us happy. All we have to do is stop them, yet we don't. Why? Because we have plenty of reasons. Some of them are justifiable, some of them are not. Some of us go to a job that makes us unhappy because the manager there is a piece of shit or something like that. It's not like we can quit on the spot because we need money to survive. So then what happens when we associate happiness to objects, what happens when we associate happiness to external situations is that we become dependent on these things, we become dependent on these situations. So if I think, let's say, doing this certain action would make me happy, then the only way I can be happy is if I do that specific thing. Wouldn't it be far more useful if we reframe our worldview by just thinking, I'm happy, that's why I'm doing this specific action? What if the happiness is not something that comes from doing certain things? What if the happiness is something that comes from within, and we have associated that happiness to other things? So basically, it's not doing X or Y action that makes us happy. It's that we do X or Y action because we are happy. And this logic does not apply just to happiness. It can apply to basically every kind of emotion, basically any kind of sensation. What if we only cry because we are sad? What if we only laugh because we are happy? Actually, yeah, let's just use that example. Usually when we are happy, we laugh. When we are sad, we cry. It's not that we cry and then we feel sad. That's not how it works. First happiness comes, first sadness comes, then we follow it up with the action. And the same thing is with life. Most people try to chase things that make them happy, when in reality, those things will never make you happy. The only person that can make you happy is you. So it's up to you to be happy first. And since you're happy, you can express that happiness by doing those other things. Everything that you do is just a expression, it's just a reaction to something. So basically the key to life is to react in ways that react in ways that are useful to you. And yeah, that's all that it boils down to. It's just about reacting better, and it's just about being more satisfied with your life, because eventually, like, people think that money will make you happy, money will do this, friends will do that, and blah 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 blah. Like getting the newest iPhone, getting the newest car, all of this will make you happy. And the way I see it, it will never make you happy. I think all of these things would give you pleasure. I think it can give you a lot of pleasure, but I don't think it will make you happy, because those things don't last. Like eventually you are going to die, and you're not going to carry out any of those things with you to the afterlife, if there is one. Like even your friends, you might think, oh, my friends are amazing, and that's a good belief to have. However, when you are going to die, which you eventually will, you are going to be alone. Your friends are not going to die with you. You are going to be the only person who dies. And yeah, you are going to tackle it alone. And that is not to say that all of these things like money, friends, good jobs, they're useless. They are very great things. Okay, I agree, they're very great things. However, if you can't, at least to a certain extent, generate happiness, generate satisfaction, generate whatever, just by being yourself, just by being alone, then you won't be able to have a peaceful death. You won't be able to peacefully die, because how will you? If all of the happiness, contempt, if satisfaction, if you have associated all of that to external things, then eventually when you are going to die, you are going to lose those things. So you are not going to be able to peacefully die. So wouldn't it be far more useful to you if, at least to a certain extent, you associate that happiness, if you start perceiving that happiness as just something that comes from within, rather than something that comes from outside there? Like, yeah, like when you think about it, emotions, they are just some kind of biological reaction to external stimuli. So like, say when you are sad, what happens? Tears start to come from your eyes, your heart starts to beat a little bit faster. What happens when you're afraid? Your heart starts to beat faster, there's more blood pressure in your there's more blood flow in your body, adrenaline starts to release, all of these chemicals start to release. It's a completely biological reaction. So what happened in the old days, like when we were cavemen and cavewomen, when you see a tiger, what happens? Boom, the chemicals start to fire up, and then, oh, look at that, we are afraid, and then, however, that's just one part of it. There's still the psychology of it. Like, besides the biology, there's still the psychology of it. We can be afraid, but we are not all afraid the same way, like, just because we see a tiger does not mean that everyone in the world is going to be afraid. there is going to be that one psychopath that would just go and pet the tiger. And I mean, he'd die like a bitch, but he's not going to be afraid. You know, some people have phobias of cats, some people have phobias of dogs, some people, you know, have stuff like that. And most of us can't relate because we don't know why a cat is so scary for them. We don't know why a small dog is so scary for them. We can't relate. Why? Because that's entirely psychological. It's because we have associated that fear to them. Even though that fear comes from within, it's just a biological thing that happens inside of us. And because of that, why don't we just associate that fear, that happiness to things that would be actually useful to us, such as ourselves or what's happening inside of us. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I rushed a lot in this video. I talk way too fast. Yeah, I get that. And I know that some of these points might not be the most clear for you. Even to a certain extent, it's not that clear for me either. So yeah, if you have any questions, just leave a comment. And yeah, have a great day.